Alright, and we are going to go into our first match of the day. Please let me know if you want me to pump in a little more game audio. But this is going to be our first match. It is Hydra versus Kaktuskumpelz. Hydra being the clan primarily, formed by Byron Cavendish, previously of the Gentlemen. Formed of many previous Gentlemen members. And their opponents, Kaktuskumpelz2000, who actually has they have a full Riders team this week. But first off, for the Hydra, we have Impenetrable. It is the Galleon piloted by Byron Cavendish. On the left side, they have a Hwacha Minotaur Artemis. And on the right, double Hwacha with a rear light carronade. Their opponent, their ally, still waking up a little bit. Hydra Sentinel. Looks like this is going to be a Hwacha Spire, front-facing light flak, right side Gatling, left side mine launcher. So Hydra definitely going for a very powerful close-range heavy weapon team composition. And we'll take a look at the Kaktuskumpelz loadouts after this engagement finishes. Currently, Dragon's Rage has fallen onto the bad side of the Hydra Sentinel. He's taking a lot of damage here. I'm kind of surprised he's managed to stay alive as long as he does, and he does finally get finished off. This weapon combination from the Spire, if this ship makes it into close range undisabled, the it has an extreme amount of armor shredding and also explosive kill power combined with the disable of the Hwachas. This is a very dangerous ship to just rush into. Certainly want to be careful how you approach it. And Impenetrable, in the same kind of vein, they've got a little bit of range on the left side here with the Artemis and the Minotaur. But I think what Red Team is really banking on is that the Riders are going to play this very aggressively. And they've brought the guns to deal with that. So let's take a look at Kaktuskumpelz2000's ship builds. First off, we do have the killing feature, piloted by Finks. This is an Artemis Gatling Squid. This is a kind of harassment disable build with a rear flare gun. Their ally is the Dragon's Rage, piloted by Zedian. It is a Hwacha Fish, left side light carronade, right side Gatling gun. So the one thing blue team does have is the speed. The Galleon and the Spire, not the fastest ships, but any fight they're going to be going into, they need to pick their spots very carefully. They need to make sure their disables take down the weapons of their targets, because Hydra are the ones going into this fight with the huge majority of firepower here. Which means Kaktuskumpelz will need to utilize that Artemis, utilize that Hwacha to try to equalize the incoming damage. Looks like Hydra's Sentinel is going to be the target here. Killing feature currently trying to lock them down with their front Artemis. Impenetrable going to be moving into position. Looks like target going for Hydra going to be a Dragon's Rage. They are the closer of the two targets. And currently Dragon's Rage, he's going to be trying to tanking the Hydra Sentinel's Hwacha while killing feature comes in from behind. I think Kaktuskumpelz has decided that Spire is going to be the easier of the two targets to finish off. And with the armor break, those Artemis shots actually do quite a bit of damage, considering that the Spire is not the tankiest ship to begin with. And currently Impenetrable is actually forcing the Dragon's Rage into the Spire with the Minotaur pushing them back and finishing them off. I don't know if that was intended. Minotaur, a weapon we don't see a lot of usage of in competitive play. It's typically this weird potato-looking gun on the front, typically regarded as being fairly weak. Doesn't do a lot of damage, but the one it's an armor pierce. It's basically like a low-powered, long-range armor-piercing weapon. But its one unique characteristic is that when you hit an enemy ship, it knocks them back depending on where on their force of mass that you hit them. So what makes it makes it very useful for spinning ships around, halting ships who are trying to charge at you, removing their gun arcs, things like that. But the trade-off is you're giving up a lot of firepower by including that on your ship loadout, because it's not a high power weapon, it's more of a disruption weapon. Now Dragon's Rage has closed the distance on the Hydra Sentinel. They want to get another Spire kill here, and I think rightly so. The Galleon is going to be very difficult to kill. It is the tankiest ship in the game. So as long as they can try to zone out the Impenetrable's firepower and kind of isolate the Spire. And Spire really does not want to be caught this close to the flight ceiling here, because that means that the Galleon's going to have a difficult time protecting it. And you see them now trying to get their arcs onto the killing feature. You saw a stray Hwacha shot coming out from the Galleon. And those Minotaur shots proving to be kind of annoying for the squid. Hydra Sentinel moving forward. Dragon's Rage has been caught on the strong close range side of the Impenetrable. You see Hwachas coming out from both sides. Hydra Sentinel's moving in, the Gatlin's coming out, the armor's about to break. All they need is one light flak shot or a Hwacha from the Galleon, and they're going to take that second point for Hydra. Killing feature, he needs to disengage here. So this is a very interesting team composition that Hydra has decided to bring to this match. We don't typically see Spires very often. It's considered not a particularly strong ship in competitive play. It has a very low base armor value, so the armor is very easy to take down, and at that point you're taking permanent damage to your ship very quickly. So for instance, the solo Gat on Squid very easily take down the armor on the Spire. It also has a lot of very vulnerable components because of the way the Spire is set up. Most of its guns are clustered together near the front, so it's very susceptible to area effect damage from the Artemis, which can disable all its guns simultaneously. And the Galleon, as well, being one of the slower ships, larger, it has a lot of heavy weapons, and heavy weapons are very vulnerable to gun disable. But I think what Kaktuskumpelz2000 are running into is that in the previous weeks, we've been seeing a lot of Mobulas, we've been seeing a lot of goldfish, a lot of squids. They're used to dealing with ships that are easier to kill. And so the builds they have now are that Kaktuskumpelz2000 has, that they're using in this game, they're very fast, not super high power, but very disable heavy, very disruptive builds. So they can kind of dart in, take out all the guns on their target, and dart back out before the enemy team is able to rebuild. But the problem they're running into is they're not used to dealing with a Galleon that is this tanky, and they're having a lot of difficulty just stringing together enough firepower to do any damage. So what we've been seeing in these past engagements is that they've been trying to focus the Spire, being the weaker of the two, with mixed success. But this is a good spot for them currently. The Galleon does not have gun arcs. The Spire is totally left all alone. And excellent focus fire from the combination of the Gatling and the Hwacha, taking out that Spire very quickly. And although, as I was saying, they're not going to be able to get a very fast kill on this Galleon, now that the Spire is down, they have a bit of time to work with if they want to try to grind this out for a third kill. Gatling going to be coming out. Hwacha assisting with the armor break, doing a good amount of permanent damage here. Oh, and Spire's taking a close spawn here. He's decided he wants to save his ally. Gatling going in on the Squid, killing feature having to shoot down, keeping them alive, but now Dragon's Rage going to be the target. Hydra Sentinel unable to get the disable on the Dragon's Rage's Hwacha, which is fairly unfortunate for them because it means now both the blue ships are currently operational, and Hydra Sentinel is once again going to be the target. Is this close spawn going to backfire for red team? I think it might. With the Hwacha taking down the armor again, that's going to be another kill for Kaktuskumpelz2000. Hydra's Spire taking a risk there, not paying off. being taken down in short order. Now they get to go back to their original mission here, which was to kill this galleon. And I really do hope the Spire does not decide to take that close spawn once again. That would... Oh no, they didn't! What are you... No! Hydra Sentinel, no! And now they're rising up. You can't... No, you have to commit here. Because if the galleon goes down... This is it. This is the last point for Kaktuskumpelz. And this Hydra Sentinel left all alone. He has nowhere to go. He's not going to be able to escape this. The disabling fire... Like, either one of these ships that he chooses to focus, the other one is going to disable all his guns here. You see the Hwacha coming out from the Dragon's Rage. Hydra Sentinel has now lost all his firepower, and a Spire is not going to be able to escape from a goldfish. It's just... It's not a particularly fast ship. Impenetrable, going to be taking the closest spawn possible, but I don't think he's going to be able to get his gun arcs into effect before Kaktuskumpelz manages to take that 5th and final point against Hydra. So even though at the beginning of the match it seemed like they were having a little difficulty putting together enough damage to really to take down these red ships, at the end there, just they did an excellent job managing to split up Hydra and focus fire the Spire, which was really the weak link of Hydra's composition. Very well played.